Returning to off-grid life in central North Portugal after 4 months of being away. It's the 1st of May 2024 and I'm continuing the journey of learning to live comfortably off-grid and living in harmony with the earth. It's so nice to be back and see everything so lush, green and flourishing. I'm still at the very early stages of this project. This year will be my first full summer here, and it's really time to begin making this not only my home, but also a thriving heart-centered business and create an off-grid eco-retreat center to host events and retreats. At the moment, I don't have direct access to my property. In the future, the plan is to have a road built in, but for now I have to walk up this 700-meter track to the parking and bring down belongings. The track was originally built for a horse and cart, and so it's just wide enough for a small tractor to bring down materials. I was really surprised at how wet and cold it is for this time of year. I really wasn't expecting to be making fires and to have the wood burner on every day. Luckily, I had some dry firewood left over from winter. Being away for 4 months means that I now have a week of major deep cleaning. I currently live in a 6-meter Mongolian yurt that's had some modifications to make it more homely. This is just a temporary home until I build a bigger roundhouse next year and eventually one day to renovate the stone ruin. Finally, when the rain stops, I'm able to enjoy walking around the property. It's so nice to see the wildflowers out, but everything is completely overgrown. I can't even see the pathways. And as I don't have any petrol for the strimmer right now, I'm having to use hand tools to try to cut the grass on the pathways. Never before in May have I had to stock up on firewood. The climate is changing a lot and it's not predictable anymore. Finally, after a week, there are some full, sunny days with brilliant blue skies, and I'm reminded why I escaped grey, gloomy England. I've got some petrol for my strimmer, and so it's time for the big task of clearing the land. One of my first important jobs to do is to get the pump on so that I can get water to my yurt. Last year, I had a pump and partial water system installed to take water from the spring and deliver it to the top terrace of my yurt. I have a catchment area at the spring which directs water through the PVC pipe into a catchment tank 30 meters away. Once the catchment tank is full, the water is then transported down to the next terrace where I have the pump. I have an incredible modern version of a ram pump which requires no electricity. It's from a company called Pump. It's very durable and very efficient. The pump currently pumps water approximately 30-40 meters up to the IBC tanks. My long-term goal is to manage the land in a way where I don't have to use machines that rely on fossil fuels. I really want to get a very good quality scythe, but for now I pull things out by hand and I use hand tools where possible, but the land has gotten so overgrown these past 4 months, I still have to continue to use the strimmer to just make it more efficient for now. My chainsaw is not working at the moment, so I'm having to cut things by hand, which is a bit time consuming and takes up a lot of energy. Ideally, I wish that I'd been back a month or two before, but this will be the first year that I'm going to be here all year round. Normally I come for just a few months at a time and I leave to continue to work on other projects. Taking permaculture principles into consideration to work with nature and not against her, and that everything has more than one purpose, rather than having the overuse of machines to cut up all the shrubs, I do try to cut them by hand, leave them for some months, and then utilize the branches to make raised beds. At the moment, I'm not growing anything in the raised beds because I still don't have a full water irrigation system in place. For now, the raised beds are just for aesthetics and just something to do with all of the green matter and material that I cut down. I plan to encourage the wildflowers to grow in the raised beds, and I've also got some other flower seeds that I could plant. The past year I found strimming really tough on my body and causing me pain. Unfortunately, these machines are not designed for women and my tiny hands are really strained to hold the throttle. It's definitely time to find a more gentle way of doing things. I believe the continuation of our species lies within implementing sustainable systems like permaculture, which can not only be applied to agriculture and land management, but can be applied to all businesses and all aspects of life. I hold the highest vision for humanity of creating a sustainable utopia with freedom, peace, and equality for all. This new earth can't be birthed in isolation, and so I'm sharing my journey and my message with the world. I hope you will like, subscribe, and follow along.